Hi, this is the Ivy League Astrologer with Virgo's December tarot forecast. Um, yeah, let's just jump right in. Okay. So for Virgos, I've got the first card out I've got is the Page of Wands. So it looks like you are contemplating or taking steps on a new path that you are excited about, you have high hopes for, you feel like there is growth there, but you may not know what you're doing, honestly, which it's okay to not know what you're doing, but it seems like it's something that you need to take some steps onto, but it may not be what you're expecting. Maybe less fruitful than you have in mind. So it looks like you're moving into action on something that you have thought about for a while. And you've been thinking about, maybe you've been praying about it even. You've been trying to reach a resolution, trying to reach a spiritual breakthrough about this matter. Maybe it's come to the point that you don't know what else to do about it but pray about it, or but ask for absolution for it. I don't know. Ask for help. Ask for a way forward into something better. And so you're acting on this. You've been thinking about it, you're acting on it, you're taking first steps on it. And you're anticipating a victory. And maybe you will get a victory as well. But it seems like there's a lot of people that are talking about it as well. There's a lot of doubt about it. And there's maybe some stuff going on that you don't know about. Like even on the very horse you're riding, it seems like you're not even, like the ground you're standing on, or the ground you're riding on is not even really known ground for as much as you think it is. There's more there. It's a bigger fish than you have in mind. But it seems like you still need to ride into that with your wreath of victory, with your more or less certainty of victory, but it may just be a different beast than you have in mind. You may find yourself kind of out there, caught out there all of a sudden, where you're like, hey, wait, this isn't what I bargained for at all. All of a sudden, I'm out here by myself and I'm all revealed and stuff. And I thought I was just riding in on my laurels and I was just going to capture some things and move on. But you may be asked to take a stand that's different than what you had anticipated. And you may find yourself out there all alone, feeling kind of exposed, feeling like the buzzards are circling around your head, waiting for you. Or it may just be that you are not certain about when to strike or where to strike, or the situation has just gotten away from you in some way. It's gotten out of hand. It's just bigger than you imagined. Again, it's just a bigger fish than you had thought you were spearing. And now your sword seems kind of useless. You're not real sure about what you should do. You got some ideas, but they all seem kind of unconnected. They don't really relate to the situation at hand, and you kind of got to go home and rethink. That's what I'm feeling. It's like you got to go back to the drawing board and think about this again from the beginning. Except for that you have this supremely uncomfortable sensation of being already out there fighting the fight, and it's time to rethink. So you might have to kind of scuttle back to your starting place this month in some way, some emotional or spiritual manner. Yeah, I think you gotta start over, bud. I think you gotta start again somehow. Yeah, this Page of Swords over here, it really has an expression like, what? What was that you said? We're fighting for what? No. I gotta go. I gotta go now. So don't be ashamed to take your sword and go home if that's what you gotta do, because it's better than fighting a battle you can't win. So I do see also more sort of struggle, or just you trying to stand your ground about something. That it's like your your rod from the Page of Wands, which you were so certain about and sort of admiring, being like, yeah, let's do this. I'm all dressed. I'm ready. Let's set off across the desert, clothed in 100 layers. Let's do it. I'm feeling good about this. And then you get out there in the desert and you're like, hey, wait a minute. Nobody told me it was going to be like this. But then it's like your wand, your rod from this movement it becomes here in the Seven of Wands down here. It's like you're trying to use that same wand that you were going to go out there and be like, I see good things happening from this. I feel confident about this. And now that wand is like sprouting all kinds of growth that you didn't know about, and you still have to kind of use that to fight off what everybody else is saying, because all of a sudden there's a lot of other stuff coming at you, and you're trying to hold on to where you are, and you feel maybe, I'm not sure that it's that you feel backed into a corner so much as that you feel like, wow. It's like a Pandora's box situation is what I feel about it. Like you have opened something that you just weren't ready for. Now all this stuff is coming up, maybe from your own conscience. I do feel that. I feel like it's from within yourself. It's all this stuff that you were trying to kind of boil it down into a singular storyline, and all of a sudden your singular storyline is having to fight all these other stories that you know to be true, or that you know are coming from within you, that are things that you maybe should have attended to and didn't attend to, or little inklings you've had about, maybe I'm not really doing this right, or, it's like all that kind of stuff is trying to come at you this month. And you're trying to use your storyline to fight it back and be like, no, it was like this. It was like this, guys. Remember, it was like this. No. And all these other things in your conscience and your mind are saying, I think that's not entirely true. So that's my interpretive dance of the Seven of Wands from the Page of Wands. I hope you enjoyed that. And then, so it seems like, so you're kind of fighting this off, having this like mental battle with yourself where you are maybe realizing that the story is more complicated and more bone deep. Ooh, more bone deep. Like the root is the flower. Like the flower is from your own root. That it's about, that this story that is not turning out the way that you had hoped is about you. So that somehow. And whether you're bringing that knowledge to light is another matter, but you are feeling that this month. That, somehow you brought this on yourself. And you're feeling like, it seems like this feeling is making you want to give where you can, making you want to be generous where you can wear the cloak of generosity almost. It's almost like at work you can be respected, you can be the good one, the generous one, you can be the one who passes on knowledge to people, who is a spiritual center, who is able to, show people the way. Whereas in your personal life, you're feeling more defensive and more concerned about your own behaviors. But it's a relief to you somehow, or it's some kind of balm to be able to go into your work and be good in some way. And it's not like you're faking being good necessarily. It's not the whole story, but that is something that we're at a place where you feel like you are right, and so that seems like that's some sort of comfort to you this month. There's a turning upside down of a situation. Again, it's like a situation that went awry that you didn't know was going to go that way. There wasn't any way to tell from the way the situation started that it was going to turn out the way that it's turning out this month. It's sort of like only a time will tell situation, where time was the last thing on your mind when this happened. The fallout of this was the last thing on your mind. What's going to happen here? How is this going to work out? It was not what you were thinking about. And so I feel like that might be the situation that's coming home to roost. It's like you were just caught up in a moment. You were excited about something. Maybe you kind of just passing through something, or were thinking you were just passing through, but it got out of hand. And that has resulted in the loss of something, something kind of big. Maybe there's medicine even in this loss, right? Yeah, I think you have to reckon with, this month, you have to reckon with some old patterns of yours having gotten in the way of something that could have been good. But it's almost like the healing is in the reckoning. The healing is, it doesn't feel good, obviously, to be like, oh, wow, like, I really fucked that up. Like, obviously that's not good. And it's, never the whole story. One person never just ruins a situation. It's always more than that. But it's like you have to reckon with having, you have to reckon with the wreckage of something that could have been really good, but even though maybe one person put a lot of effort into it and the other person kind of pretended like they were putting effort into it, it's like this is coming back around. Whatever that is kind of coming back around. But I think there's healing there. Like, I think in just recognizing it, it's like you can't go back again. You can't pick it up and you can't fix it. And that's what's hard about it. And that's what is coming to you in your mind, too, is that you can't actually fix it. Like, it's irrevocable. But in recognizing that it's irrevocable and in what you did to contribute to that situation, there's healing and there's a movement towards a future happiness. Like, it's like this is just a lesson for you. That, like, don't let that same thing happen again. Don't make the same mistakes again. And you can have something, and in the future, there will be a home for you. There will be that connection for you. But you have to kind of reckon with this first. There's definitely an element of the timing being off, but I don't think it's just that. I think it's someone taking advantage of someone not thinking of time when another person is thinking of time. It's like, it's like someone's time, someone is aware of time and aware of the value of time and that they don't have forever to do something. And it's like they were looking to you, or maybe you were looking to them. It's like they were looking to you to fulfill some promise within a certain time so that you could move forward together. And you kind of acted like you were going to do it, but you weren't ever going to do it. Or you didn't really want to, but somehow you've gotten caught up in it anyway. So you were trying to kind of move through there. You're trying to kind of sail through there, but you got caught. And you weren't aware of time. Like, you didn't have the same perspective on time as this person, same outlook on things as this person. Like, you're kind of just like, hey, there's a whole world ahead. I don't know what's out there. I'm just going to keep moving. And I'm an adventurer. I'm moving forward. And then this person was like, it's almost like this person was like, I want a home and a family. And you were like, oh, that's cute. Well, let's hang out for a while and we'll just see what happens, And somehow that you got caught up in that. And so there's a painful disappointment from that situation that you have to deal with this month. But there's a healing from that too. If you deal with it, if you recognize that situation, it's like you don't have to go back and repeat that mistake and you can move on to greener pastures. That's kind of how I feel about that. So I hope that's helpful to some of you Virgos out there. Please post in the comments and let me know. Let me know if that resonated with you, if that sounds like something you're going through, or what the deal is. Yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. I am, just starting to do this for YouTube, so any and all feedback is welcome. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.